Hello and welcome. It's Jennifer McGuire, and I thank you for returning for another of my favorite crafty things videos for 2019. Today I am covering other crafty goodies, so other favorites of mine that didn't fit into other categories. I still do have two more videos coming in this series. One is on die cut machines and one is on organization, and that will actually come out right at the beginning of the new year. As always, remember that I'll have a link to my blog below, and over on my blog I'll have a lot more information with giveaways, discount codes, and more. Okay, so let's get started with other crafty favorites today, including embellishments and accessories and other things. I felt it was best to start with my Tonic Aqua Shimmer pen since I seem to use this on almost every card. Adding a little bit of shimmer to a card is a fun way to make it extra special. All you do is you paint this clear product onto your card and it dries and basically leaves some soft shimmer behind. So you can put more on by squeezing the barrel of the bottle so more comes out, or you can put a thin layer on. Now it looks like the paper's darker there just because it's wet, but you can see as I heat set this that it dries clear with a nice kind of silvery shimmer to it. Now, I don't normally heat set it to dry it, I just let it dry on its own, but I wanted to speed it up for the video. There you can get a closer look at the beautiful shimmer. I often use this to cover a stamped image or a die cut just to make it stand out a bit more. If I want to add shimmer in fine little areas, I reach for my Stardust glitter pen. So the shimmer that this puts down is very similar to the pen I just showed you. This has a little bit more of a warm shimmer to it. And it's kind of like a gel pen, so it goes down very nice and fine. I like to use this when I'm tracing areas of a stamped image or to create little dots in the background. There you can see how the shimmer is similar, but it's a little bit more of a warm tint to it. But I like to use both of these just depending on how large of an area I want to cover. Here's an example where I used the Stardust glitter pen to create little dots in the background that provide like a starry shimmer. Okay, another shimmer product is the Tsukineko Shimmer Spritz. If I want to create an entire background that has some shimmer, this is the product I reach for. You always want to make sure that you shake it really well and then spray from about a foot or so above. If you want to smooth it out, you can take one quick swipe with a cloth across and it'll give it a nice, even, smooth look. Then I just let it dry on its own and check out the shimmer that you can get. So basically you can create your own shimmer cardstock using this. I have also heard that people have refilled their Tonic Aqua Shimmer pen using this product when it ran out. Okay, here's an example where I sprayed some layered die cuts with this shimmer spritz and you can see the fun sparkle it gives. Now, if you're looking for a way to add shimmer to a completed card, I would recommend the ThermWeb Silver Glitter Dust. Now this, I go outside and I spray on my completed card, and this puts like a fine silvery glitter over the entire card, and it doesn't get it really wet. So that's why I like to use it on a completed card. And you can see a comparison there between the Shimmer Spritz, which is on the left, and the Glitter Dust, which is on the right. You can see on this example on the background, I used the glitter dust and you can see the fine silver glitter there. And by the way, the examples that I'm showing here with these different products, I do link to the videos that they're included in with the products below. Another finishing touch pen that I really like is the black Glaze pen. I kind of tap it onto my paper to create little dots that are perfect for the eyes or nose of critters. This dries super dark black with a teeny bit of dimension and some gloss to it. So it's great for making those eyes really dark or just adding fine details. So there you can see up close how nice it looks. And I just, again, like to tap in the same spot a little bit to get more to come out to create that look of dimension. And here you can see I used it on the nose and the eyes of this cute little monkey. Makes a big difference. I also like to use white gel pens, and the ones that I've been using mostly are the white Jelly Roll pen set. There are 3 different sizes, and I'll show you all 3 here. Now, no white gel pen or white pen seems to be perfect. They all seem to be a little bit moody. So one trick is to kind of scribble off on the surface of your finger first or onto some scrap paper. But I found the Jelly Roll works really well. You just want to apply it slowly. And if you're doing a small area, kind of tap it a little bit to get some more of the ink to come out before you kind of turn it into a perfect little dot. The first pen I used here was the size 8, and then I used the size 10, and this last one is the size 5, which is really fine. So you can grab whatever pen has the right amount of detail for whatever you're creating. So if you're looking for a white gel pen to add details, this is a good option. Here's an example where I colored in the letters beautiful with the fine tip white gel pen, and it really makes that card pop. Even if you're not a big fan of using colored pencils, I do recommend having a white pencil in your stash. Prismacolor is one option. There are a few different ones that you can buy just individual white, which is really handy. And it's great for creating highlights on stamped images or die cuts. I had this leftover stamped die cut in my drawer, and I thought I would just do a little bit of highlighting on it with the white pencil so you can see how it can really change the look of your finished projects. So it's an inexpensive tool and handy to have. Here's a couple cards that I created by stamping some images with white and then adding a bit of white colored pencil. So you can create some lovely monochromatic cards and save some time on coloring. Next up is the Brutus Monroe White Aqua Pigment. Now this is super fun for creating white splatters. I think some people like to use acrylic paint and water it down. I'm all for easy, and this you can make larger splatters by just using the dropper that's included with the bottle, and you'll see here you get perfect large splatters. Or you can take a brush and dip it right into the white and then flick it from there. And that way you can have some fine white splatter. So if you're looking for something that stays pretty vibrant white on colored or dark cardstock, this is a great option. By the way, you could water this down if you want softer splatters too. I recently purchased the entire set of Spellbinder silks, but there are 3 colors that I recommend the most. Now these are a water-based product, and what's cool is they come in a bottle like nail polish. So you shake it up, and then it's got this brush. So you can apply it like you're painting with the brush. But what I like is to flick it with that brush, and you get perfect fine splatter. I really like the black licorice. You can see how it kind of absorbs into the paper and gives a look of silk as it dries. There's also this silver, which I'm going to go ahead here and show you it on white cardstock. Normally I don't heat set it, I would just let it dry on its own, but I wanted to speed it up. You can also again paint these if you want to, but as I mentioned, I usually use them for splatter. And then finally, the sparkle silk. This reminds me a lot of the products that I showed at the beginning of this video that provide that little bit of shimmer. If you're looking for a fast way to add shimmer sparkle, this is a good option. And again, because it has that nail polish like brush built into the bottle, it's a great way to create that fine splatter. There are many different colors, but these are the 3 that I recommend the most. Okay, so if you like to do watercolor and you want to turn your regular watercolor into shimmer watercolor, here's a fun way. So I'm just creating my own watercolor using a Distress Ink re-inker, added a little water, and then painting it onto some watercolor paper. That's how I normally do watercolor. Well, if I want to make it shimmery, I use the Brea Reese Liquid Glitter Ink Additive. So I just put a drop or 2 on top of my watercolor, mix it in, and then paint as I normally would, and you end up with a shimmer watercolor. So no need to have a bunch of different types of watercolor, you can just create your own this way. And by the way, another great way to do watercolor is to just take your ink pad, smush it onto a glass surface, add some water, and here I added a drop of that shimmer, and then you have your own watercolor. So I heat set that so it dry quickly, and check out the shimmer that you get using this product. So it's water-based and highly pigmented, and it just leaves that fun shimmer behind, along with whatever color watercolor you use. Now another watercolor product that I wanted to recommend is the Altenew Metallic Watercolor. I actually just bought another set. I gave my first set to Lila because she likes them too. And these come with a water brush and this nice tin that you see. Now these have a beautiful metallic watercolor look to them, and you can use them on white watercolor paper. But where these really shine is where you use them on dark cardstock. So here I'm just using a black cardstock, and you can see the beautiful metallic look that you get. Even the white turns out wonderfully. So my last product gives like a shimmer. This gives a metallic shine to it. So there you can see it on white, but there on black cardstock is where it's most impressive. So this would be great for creating some really bold looks on dark colored cardstocks for some quick and easy cards. Okay, another product that I cannot skip this year is the Tim Holtz alcohol ink pearls. Now these are typical alcohol inks but have a bit of pearl to them. So it gives a beautiful shine to the color that you put down. Now I'm not going to do an example here because I've done so many videos with these and I will link to them below. And I actually have a video coming out very soon using them again. I find using the alcohol ink pearls is a great way to kind of recharge my creativity when I'm feeling like I'm in a slump. I also recommend the VersaMarker pen. Now this pen is just like a VersaMark ink pad, but in a pen form. There's a brush tip and a fine tip. I actually just bought a couple new ones of these and noticed that it's a little more improved. The caps are a little bit different, and I find that the ink comes out perfectly. So you can write with this, add embossing powder and heat set, and you can have a heat embossed word, or you can trace inside of a stencil or add little dots and details of embossing anywhere you want. It's a really handy tool to have, inexpensive, and it lasts you for a long time. Here's one creative way to use that pen. On the left is a floral stamped image. On the right, I colored in that stamped image with the VersaMarker pen and added black embossing powder to give it a silhouette look. So two different looks from one stamp. Next, I wanted to talk about gemstones. I get a lot of questions about the gemstones that I use because I use them on almost every card and I have a lot of different colors. I thought I would go ahead here and share my favorites or my most used gemstones in case you want to try some out. These are from Pretty Pink Posh and these are graphite jewels. These have like a dark silver look to them and there are 3 sizes included in the pack. I like to use a little bead tray like this one and pour them in there so I can see all the sparkle and be able to put them back in the container easily. I also like from Pretty Pink Posh the glossy black jewels. These are very similar but they're not metallic, they're just shiny black. I also love silver accents, so from Lucy's cards I like silver jewels. All of these have 3 different sizes included and you can see the great shine that you get with those. Now these have that faceted look to them. If you want something smooth, I recommend Trinity Stamp's Silver Baubles. These are bright silver too, nice and shiny, but they're smooth. And there are actually 4 sizes included, including that tiny size on the right. Next up is from Studio Katia. These are gold sparkle crystals. These are basically clear crystals with gold glitter inside. Gives a fun, unique look, and it's a little more subtle than the others. Now for clear or white, there are 4 that I like. The first is the top one, that's Studio Katia Icy Sparkle Crystals. That's like the last one, it's clear with like a fine shimmer in it. Then the second one are Lucy's Cards Soft Snowball Pearls. These are like a perfect pearl. Then the third one is from Lucy's Cards. These are clear iridescent jewels. So they're clear but have a little bit of iridescent shine to them. And last but not least are the perfectly clear Lucy's Cards Ice Cube Jewels. If you're looking for a mix of colorful pearls or jewels, I recommend checking out the rainbow mixes from Lucy's Cards. You can also buy individual colors from her or from Pretty Pink Posh. Keep in mind you can also color white pearls or clear jewels using your Copic markers or alcohol inks. Now, if you want to buy a set that includes a bunch of colors, Pinkfresh Studios has the Essentials Jewels set. You can see all the different colors included in here, and these are very sparkly jewels. Okay, so next up is the Tonic Nuvo Golden Years Confetti. Now, there are actually 4 jars included in the set, but I can't find one of them. These are the 3 that I use the most. I have the mirror ball stars on the left that are super sparkly, little clear circles in the middle, and then gold little hexagons on the right. These are just fun, kind of basic shapes that are great for shaker cards, or for this example, I laminated some of those sparkly stars in a clear piece to create that fun window behind the bunnies. So little accents like that, you buy a jar and it's going to last you for a long time. If you're looking for accents with less sparkles, I recommend the Hero Arts Enamel Accents. Now these come in a bunch of different packs, and in each pack there are 3 shades of a color family. So there's light, medium, and dark, and in each color there are 3 sizes, a small, medium, and big. I just pick them up with my craft knife, the tip of my craft knife, and add them onto my project. They have the adhesive already on it. There's also a pack of clear, and you can see that these aren't too bulky, so they go through the mail okay. If you prefer gemstones that have the adhesive already on the back, I would recommend the Honey Bee gemstones. These are all one size, but you can see there are many variety packs. So there are clear, there are iridescent, these are white and black, so they have some shine to them. Then there are lots of different rainbow packages too. Now the jewels that I used earlier, I use a liquid adhesive to add them. These already have the adhesive on the back. The last little accent like this I wanted to recommend is from Neat and Tangled. These are enamel dots. There is black and gold glitter, and you can see they come in a bunch of sizes from tiny to big. And the nice thing is these aren't too bulky. They're super smooth, go through the mail nicely, and check out that beautiful gold glitter. Next, I'm going to change gears and talk about Simon Says Stamp sentiment strips. Now, there are many different sentiment strip variety packs available at Simon Says Stamp. These are pre-printed sentiments that you can just cut down and add to a card very quickly. There are many different occasions available, and it's such a fast way to add a sentiment to a card. You can even foil these with deco foil and your laminator. If you've watched any of my videos, you've probably seen me use these because they're easy to use. You can even use any of your sentiment strip dies to cut out the sentiments if you don't want to cut them with your trimmer. Believe it or not, I don't use washi tape very often, but this year several companies came out with wide washi tape that I actually do use for quick cards. Now, Altenew has a bunch of them. This is one example, and you can see how you can quickly create a background that looks handmade. So it's got some gold foil on there, beautiful watercolor look, so you can make a lot of cards with one roll of these. They even have some specialty ones like this one that have the shape to them. So I actually wrapped a present with red metallic wrapping paper, and I used this around it instead of a bow, and it gave a really fun look. But you can see here, it can also be used for a really quick card. I think my favorite of the Altenew tapes is this one that is actually white, and it has lots of die cut detail to it. And you can use the negative space or the positive piece, and you just put this on your card. You can use this for masking, just a detailed border like I have here. You can stamp on it, you can color it, you can do whatever you want. So it's really fun to get creative with these, and they are a time saver. If you've never seen these large washi tapes before, I encourage you to check them out. As you can see here, there are many different styles and widths, and there might be something that appeals to you. I also like from Pinkfresh Studio, they have a Rainbow Splatters washi. And this actually has a bunch of different sections to the long roll. And check out the fun type of backgrounds that you can get. So this is one of the sections. It's like a rainbow wash with some splatter to it. And there are a couple other ones that I haven't trimmed down yet. But it's great for creating fast backgrounds. Okay, again, switching gears, we have ThermoWeb Duo Transfer Gel. This product allows you to apply deco foil to your cards with either a laminator or with the pressure of a die cut machine, which is really cool. I think the older version was just with the laminator. This one lets you use pressure also if you don't have a laminator. So here I'm just applying a layer of it over a fun Gina K stencil, just onto some regular cardstock. Now I'm going to set this aside and let it dry for an hour, and I'll clean off my stencil and my stencil pal that I used to spread the product across evenly. Now what this will allow me to do is add foil. They had a different transfer gel in the past that you had to use a laminator with. I believe that was the difference. This one you could use the pressure of a die cut machine instead if you prefer. And I'm going to show you both. That's why I'm creating 2 panels here. After letting those dry for an hour, you can apply any of the deco foils. I really like the Gina K ones. There are some beautiful colors and finishes. Any deco foil would work. So you can see here it dries to be like a shiny clear, little bit sticky. You take whatever foil you have, lay it with the pretty side up right on top, into a folded piece of parchment paper, or a folded piece of printer paper. Then you run it through your laminator. Once it comes out the other side, you can see that it transfers all of the foil to wherever you applied that Duo transfer gel. If you get any foil where you don't want it, you can just use your Creative Detailer tool to remove it. That's actually what that tool was meant for. And check out that beautiful result that you get. So this way that I just showed is using the heat and pressure of a laminator. However, if you don't have a laminator, you can also use a die cut machine. So I have my other panel here. I'm putting the foil on top, pretty size, facing up. And I just like to put it into that parchment paper, but you could just put it right into your die cut machine. You run it through your die cut machine as if you were die cutting a wafer thin die and cardstock, but there's no die in there. It's just applying pressure to cause that foil to stick to that transfer gel, and check out the results that you get. So beautiful. Now, I think both results are very similar. If I had to compare, I would say the laminator results are a little bit better, but both are definitely great for applying foil over a stencil onto any project that you make. And by the way, I have a video coming out in a couple weeks using this product. Before we go, I had a few other crafty related favorites I wanted to share with you. These aren't actually used on a card, but they're fun nonetheless. First up, I definitely recommend checking out the Etsy shop of my friend Lori Willison. I gave her permission to use the Share Handmade Kindness message on aprons, bags, mugs, and many other things. The apron is definitely my favorite, and I wear it whenever I craft in my craft room. But she has many other crafty related products and messages in her shop, so definitely check it out. She even uses my little message that says card making is my superpower. I think that's a fun little product. She's got cute little bags and aprons using that too. Another place to get fun crafty pouches is from the Ink Blot shop. These are really handy in sorting things, taking your crafting on the go. I organize like projects that I'll be working on in these. There are a bunch of different ones, different colors, and they're all very high quality. So I encourage you to check out her products too. Now, 2019 was definitely the year of the enamel pen. There are so many out there. My favorites are from a few different companies, including Simon Says Stamp. Simon Says Stamp has a bunch of enamel pens that have fun crafty themes and some that aren't crafty themed too, like animals. But this one was my favorite. It's a mailbox that actually has a hinge and it closes and opens. So there's a lot that are perfect for card makers. I just mentioned that the Ink Blot shop has great crafty pouches. Well, they also have some fun enamel pins. Many are crafty related, some aren't. So they're definitely worth checking out too. Last but not least, you got to see the pins over at the Gray Muse. She has a bunch of different ones that are card making, crafting, art, and encouragement related. She also has some that are kind of interactive, like this little paper trimmer. It also has a hinge that opens and closes. So there you have it, a look at some of my other favorite crafty things. Now, nobody needs all of these things. This is part of my job, and I just wanted to share favorites. So maybe you could pick and choose what you might want to take a closer look at. I do have everything linked in my description below, so you can find them there. In the middle here, I have my playlist for my favorite crafty things series for this year, and also another video that I think you might like. Thanks for spending this time with me. I hope it was helpful to you, and we'll see you soon.